Hello everyone and welcome to another JustANerd 5th anniversary video. Maybe the first one. I don't know how these are going to be ordered just depending on when the other video comes out. But yeah, I'm doing for my 5th anniversary, instead of just basically one big special, I'm doing some things people have asked for. So I am doing a custom contest. If you'd like to enter that, check out the link below. And another video people have really wanted to see. And another thing people ask me all the time is who my favorite figures are. Who my favorite figure, my favorite 10 figures or so. And so I figured I'd finally do that a video about that and show off 10 of my favorite figures, just in detail work or in how much the character means to me or things like that. So yeah, I'm going to get started with my 10th favorite figure, which is going to be Grillby. Also, sometimes the order here changes. I'd say these are probably my 10 favorites, but the order might change around every now and then. I think I have a pretty solid order. But yeah, Grillby is one of my favorite figures, even though he's number 10. Of course, I've made hundreds and hundreds of figures, so this is got to be pretty good to be on this list. And I said he was my favorite figure when I first made him, but I'm really not sure about that. It's really just the head that makes him my favorite figure. Well, I said made him my favorite figure. The way I sculpted it and just the paint job, I think looks really cool, and it's still, I think might be one of my best painted heads ever. But since the character was so simple and barely in the game, of course, from the Undertale showcase, my Undertale 5th anniversary showcase. Of course, he doesn't appear much in the game, so his costume, his figure was pretty simple, but still, I think I did the best I could for every single part of him, even though it was extraordinarily simple. And I did the same sort of fading effect for the fire on his arms, and I think that's really just what makes him so special to me, the fire effect as well as the sculpt. But yeah, I'm going to move on from that figure to actually the newest figure on this list, and actually the most recent figure I made, but I just love him that much, and that's my Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here, I'm going to have to adjust the camera a little bit here. But yeah, I'm not actually going to review this guy yet, because I'll have a review with my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles custom review. But this is a figure that I've tried to do before, this type of Mr. Incredible body with the Abomination. It didn't work out as well then. So I gave it another shot with Rocksteady for my Ninja Turtles project, and I think it looks really good. It does use a bunch of Lego pieces, even though it is all sculpted. But I just think that came together really well, and just all together is one of my favorite sculpts overall. And just, I am really proud of the piece usage here with like this helmet as his turtle shell and his gun on the back there, which can be removed, and then his ball joint arms. I always like doing the ball joint arms, and so it's fun when I get to do that. And yeah, that's Rocksteady. He is number 9. Again, full review will be coming later this year with my other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. Number 8 is actually another figure I haven't reviewed. These are the only 2 figures I haven't reviewed yet. Number 8 is going to be John Walker, Captain America from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Spoilers, I suppose, but that show has been out for a while now. In fact, Loki just came out the day I recorded this, so yeah, that's kind of how long ago I made this guy. But I'm really proud of him. I borrowed a lot of aspects from other Captain Americas, specifically my in-game one, and I think that was really cool, as well as some from my Avengers 1 Captain America with the belt there, and I think that was really cool. This was kind of just me wanting to make a really cool Captain America, because I hadn't for a while. Even though it's not technically Captain America. And even I kind of went out of my way to do a double-sided face, which I don't do all the time. And I think just how he came together with all of the details is what makes me like him so much. And even with the bloody shield there, I just think is really cool, and I'm really proud of that usage of pre-existing print, and yeah, I think he's pretty awesome for number 8. So he will be being reviewed, and then probably the next review, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but that might be a while, just depending on how long some pieces I ordered take. Number 7 is from my WandaVision custom review, and not my last one from the WandaVision custom review. You'll see a lot of them. You'll also see a lot of Marvel figures, just because I really like all the Marvel figures I make. But that is Fietro, and again, it's just specifically for his torso. Even though I like the other figures better overall, he is just so important to me, specifically for his torso. It's my favorite torso I've ever made, with the fading effect, as well as the palm trees and the buttons and everything. It makes me so proud every time I look at it, as well as the leather jacket and just everything. And I just loved the costume in the show, so it was really fun to recreate it here, and I just think it came together really, really well. So I think that's why he's number 8. Also, the hair and face I think are pretty good, but just specifically the torso is the only reason he's really on this list. If it wasn't for that, he would probably not make it on the list, but because of that, he's awesome, and I love him. Number 7 here is a figure probably a lot of you expected, and some people might not agree with, but I'm putting my PacMan on here for my PacMan minifigure showcase. This just because of how important the character is to me over how well the figure turned out, even though the figure turned out amazingly in my opinion. Just the character's of course really important to me. I really love PacMan, and I just think that I did him the best I could, and this has actually been the first year I haven't made a PacMan or updated PacMan. I've had a tradition of for the past, I guess, 4 years. Besides this year, I made a PacMan every year. I plan on somehow making a PacMan this year, but a different one, just because this one makes me so happy how he turned out with his little ball joints. And it's just fun because I don't really update figures often, so just to think back about how he started as a Smash Bros. Figure, and then I updated him just for fun, and then updated him again for the PacMan showcase, I think is just really cool. And you can check out any of these custom reviews if you want to see full-on custom reviews of any of these characters. Check out the links in the description. I will link all of their videos that I reviewed them in. Number 7 is another figure from the WandaVision custom review. One of my favorite custom reviews ever. I just think every figure in there was awesome. And that's Agatha. I'd say these are my top 5. Did I say, wait, what number did I say for her? I think I said 6, but this is number 5. I don't know what I'm saying. This is number 5, and I'd say all the top 5 figures are like almost tied. They're just really all my favorites, so now we're getting really my favorites. And Agatha is up there just because of the whole figure overall. Most of these is just a few things, how they kind of turned out. But I think Agatha overall is just so cool. I mean, from her like torso, like, and legs, I am so proud of. And all the fading details, and her little cape, her purple cape and everything, as well as her sculpted sleeves, was just kind of a last minute touch, but also just made it really special and cool. And her awesome stand, I didn't bring it over here because it made her too tall, but that really brings the figure together as well. And yeah, I feel like she might have been my favorite figure, just if her outfit in the show was cooler. Her outfit was actually not my favorite outfit of the whole show, but I feel like I feel like I just did this as well as I could for the outfit in the show. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but I don't think I could have made a better figure. But just because her outfit isn't my favorite in the show, that's the reason she's not number 1, even though still super amazing, and I'm so proud of her. That brings us to number 4, who is going to be again, if you've been checking out my channel for a while, not a surprise, but that's Papyrus. Yeah, I'm sorry, I get a big smile on my face every time I look at this figure, and that's really the reason he's on here. He's my favorite Undertale character, and I love Undertale. I make that pretty clear in my videos how big of an Undertale fan I am. And it was my first experiment with a lot of things with ball joint arms specifically. I guess it was the only thing that this was an experiment with, so they don't work perfectly. It fell out obviously, but still is just so cool, and something that has continued to be something I do in my figures occasionally since then. And just the face, as well as the implementation of the scarf here and the sculpt, it was almost all sculpted, and it was kind of funny because I made this figure. It was something I wanted to make for a while, but I kind of went out of customizing when I was really into Undertale. And the showcase just got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but I finally made him for the Big Chungus video as a joke. And I was gonna be like, okay, this will be fun, a figure I really want to do, but I'll just make him kind of okay and update him later. But I actually have never updated him since then, just because I'm so proud of the colors and everything. He has been in some stop motions and some stuff since then, so he's kind of scratching up some, but still one of my favorites. I think he's amazing. And now we're in the top three, who I think I've talked about. Now these ones I've definitely said in my videos are some of my favorite figures of all time, if not my favorite figure of all time. So you will see them now, and I'm kind of saying figure and favorite a lot in this video, but I don't really know what else I would say. So number 3, drum roll, is Wanda from WandaVision, who I'm really, really, really proud of. Just her hair and her torso and everything. I really love making MCU figures just because it's always fun. Just because I love the MCU, for one thing, and also I just think it's really cool to recreate their outfit designs and all the little details and stuff, because they really have a lot of fun details. Typically, when I make video game characters or cartoon characters, or really the other things I like to do, unless I'm doing stuff for like other movies I like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. But Marvel, I just think is so cool how it's like realistic, and then also has a lot of really cool detail in it. And I think she really embodies that because of all of the little details I worked on, and all the 3D elements, including the paper cape and the little paper skirt piece and the sculpted helmet, or not helmet, but cowl or whatever there. And yeah, just really, really an incredible figure. If there was one thing that I would have if there's one thing I would have done, and I don't really have anything wrong with this figure. I don't really have anything wrong with a lot of these figures. I think it's just, at this point, it's just because I executed the top two better. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to number 2, who maybe you guessed, I don't know, but drum roll please. Number 2 is another Marvel figure, Sandman, from my Sinister 6 showcase, and yeah, I don't even think I have to say why, but I love my Sandman figure so much. By far the best sculpt I've ever done, and just such a fun figure. That's really why I love branching out and doing fun stuff like this. That's really why, like, him and Rocksteady and PacMan are on here, and Papyrus, just because they're so fun to make, and just so different. And I just love that part about him. And his giant sand hand is really the main reason for that, in which I did something I thought would be really cool, and that was recreate a Lego hand giant using Lego pieces, sculpting it and creating a giant Lego hand, and then I actually used real sand on it as well, and then painted it and dry brushed it. And that, I just think that is so cool that he has some real life elements by using the sand, and then looks like the character. Looks just like the character, like all the lines on his torso and his arm and stuff look perfect, but also is just super fun and a really fun sculpt. and the hair and everything, and then of course the sculpt that where his legs are turning into sand was something I wasn't certain if I was gonna do or not, but I am so glad I did it because it looks amazing and he just looks so fun when he's standing there. And my dog got in my room, so that's awesome. Hi Twix. uh, but now we're gonna move on to the number one figure, which is one that I'm almost certain that you guessed. And now Twix is scratching into the floor. That's awesome. But number one is my Iron Man from Avengers Endgame custom review, which I think is kind of funny. He's older than almost all the figures here except for Papyrus. And I think like this Iron Man was when I just finally realized, like, yeah, I've become a really good customizer. But just I'm not, Iron Man isn't even like, I love Iron Man so much. He's awesome in the movies, but he's not even like my favorite character from Marvel. You know, I have other characters I like more, so I wasn't, and I've never really just made a really good Iron Man. I've never done that just because he's never been my favorite character. So typically when I used to make Iron Mans, they would just be pretty much trash because I would put zero effort into them. And then when Endgame came out, I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to try really, really hard to make a really good Iron Man. And I did that, and I think just that motivation is what made this figure so fantastic. And the silvery colored elements, as well as the glowing eyes. His eyes do glow, which I'm really proud of. And then all the gold and the silver and just all the little lines. It's still, I mean, this is 3 years later, and I still don't think I can do detail work that well. Like, my newer figures don't have as small details as this. I think I just really got lucky when I made this figure, and it just is amazing. But yeah, these are my 10 favorite minifigures I've ever made. Tell me below which one is your favorite, and even if you want to go out there and talk about any of my figures, which one is your favorite. And also enter the custom contest if you would like to. I think I might be changing up the rules soon just because I think some people are confused about what I did. So I'm going to be thinking about that. Going on vacation soon, so it's going to be hard for me to do videos. So there probably won't be any others until July, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.